Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide in truth and sincerity. And salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect, believing on the words of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. It says the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7 and verse 5. Thus saith the Lord power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. Yeah, the end of Esau's rulership, which is playing out by the way of the prophecies. And the prophecy I wanted to feature in this video is the famine. All right. I have this video by the Epic Economist. It's a 12-minute video, pretty insightful, a lot of articles and current news. So let's play it.
What are you gonna do when millions of people start to get victimized by starvation?
Hey, that opening line said it all. What are you people gonna do when you start to get victimized by starvation? Okay? The Lord know how to humble you niggas. All right?
Are you prepared to see famines emerging all across the globe? The skeptics that
Real quick. I knew this was gonna happen, but that's the spirit. Yep. Let's go. Cause he said what it says around the globe, right? Second Ezra chapter 15, real quick. Then we're gonna let the video play. Lord willing. Second Ezra chapter 15, and I'm gonna start at verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. See, this is a worldwide thing. All right. It's going to go into information regarding the drought that's affecting various places around the world, including here in America, Babylon the Great. All right.
claim that when millions of people start to get victimized by starvation, are you prepared to see famines emerging all across the globe? The skeptics that claim that we would find a way to muddle through the global food crisis somehow are just realizing that this is a much bigger problem we all imagined. Unpredictable extreme weather events are having an enormous impact on this year's food production. In 2023,
Well, who controls the weather? Yahawashi controls the weather. All right.
there won't be enough food supplies for everyone on the planet. Unpredictable extreme weather events are having an enormous impact on this year's food production. In 2023, there won't be enough food supplies for everyone on the planet, which means that hunger crises, shortages, and food insecurity will hit large parts of the global population and bring about unprecedented pain and despair to countless families around the world.
It just so happened they used Jake. Right?
And those issues are not exclusive to poorer nations. In today's video, we're going to expose that some of the same disasters that collapsed agricultural production in developing countries are also happening in the United States right now. But before moving on, please support us by leaving a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel so you can stay up to date with the most important news. While Americans worry about empty shelves, the World Health Organization is warning that millions of people in East Africa are under threat of starvation as drought, climate change, rising prices, and an ongoing civil conflict in northern Ethiopia are all contributing to worsening food insecurity. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus highlighted that more than 50 million people are facing acute food insecurity in the region this year. Moreover, a new study published by the World Food Programme found that roughly 7 million children are suffering from malnourishment. And according to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, hundreds of thousands are leaving their homes in search of food or livelihoods. In Somalia, authorities are projecting that vegetable and grain production will decline by about 80% this year due to the abnormally dry weather. The current
decline about 80%.
food security situation across the Horn of Africa is dire after 4 consecutive rainy seasons have failed, a climatic event not seen in at least 40 years or since the beginning of the satellite era. Member David Perry of the Food and Agriculture Organization said in a report released on Wednesday, typically the Horn of Africa has 2 rainy seasons per year, but for the last 4 have been exceptionally dry. In some regions of Somalia, it has not rained in 2 years, Reuters reported.
See that? In some areas of Somalia, it hasn't rained in 2 years.
This meteorological drought has resulted in a loss of soil moisture, caused waterways to dry up, and has led to the death of millions of livestock, UN researchers noted. Forecasts suggest that the September to December rainy season could also fail. This would set the stage for an unprecedented 5-season drought. Even though authorities here in the U.S. don't seem at all too concerned about what's going on in Africa right now, they probably should, because conditions are starting to change here too. And American farmers and ranchers are also coping with the worst drought in the millennium, dwindling water supplies, inflation, and the liquidation of beef cow herds. The western half of the country is experiencing the most extreme mega drought in 1,200 years. Withering pastures, a wrecking feed harvest, and endangering a quintessential way of life for the nation's agricultural production. Sizzling temperatures are forcing ranchers to make an agonizing decision: sell their cattle early for less money than they planned on, or hold on to their herds, pray for rain, risk losing everything. At this point, the rate at which cattle are being sold in the U.S. is simply unprecedented. According to The Hill, over the past couple of weeks, the national cattle sale rate jumped to 120% above 2021 levels. That's an average that conceals even higher frenzies of sales in some markets. The sales are playing out against the background of declining rains and falling levels of underground water in the massive Ogallala Aquifer, which stretches beneath much of the Great Plains, and which the region's vast agricultural footprint, much of it devoted to protein-rich feeds for cattle, is steadily and irrevocably soaking up, the article highlighted. We'll keep selling cows until it rains, said Texas High Plains rancher Jim Ferguson. The lack of water in general, it's hurting us all the way around, in any way you can think of, added cattle buyer Josh Sturgeon, noting that many farmers are even selling off their breeding stock, which they rely on to produce the next generation of cows. That's a big signal to me that future supplies are...
You selling off your breeding stock. Like this guy's finna mention. He said that's a big indication that things are going to get worse. All right, like we read in Ezekiel chapter 7. Hey, nothing good is coming here to America, Babylon the Great. Real quick, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Yeah, this current age, this current rulership, all right, which is ruled by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So Yahawashi is going to lay it out. Verse 4. And Yahawashi answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am Hamashiach, or anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars Ukraine and Russia, rumors of wars Taiwan, United States, and China, right? It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine. See that? And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. See? So what the Lord said was going to happen is happening, and it's coming to pass. Okay? And we're seeing it.
Gonna run tight, he continued. At the moment, beef prices are soaring, and many households are cutting back on meat and seeking cheaper alternatives. In the short term, all of the cattle that are being slaughtered right now will help to control prices. But the outlook for 2023 is quite bleak, considering that the national cattle herd just keeps getting smaller and smaller. In fact, some beef producers are saying that ground beef prices could top $50 per pound next year, thanks to the highest inflation in a generation.
Damn, $50 per pound? $50 per pound. You see that?
Average ground beef prices are already about twice what they were in 2019. Estimates reported by Z94 News show that in 2021, it cost $200 to feed and raise a cow that would typically have a market value of $600. Imagine what the value will have to be when 2022's herds hit the same market, seeking the same profit margin. If it costs $400 to feed and raise that same cow today, it'll need to fetch a finished price in a fair comparison, because each farm and ranch in America is a small business that must profit to survive or cease to exist, the paper noted. Imagine how many American families will be unable to afford ground beef when prices jump to $50 per pound. If even the cheapest meat cuts are seeing massive price hikes despite the recent supply increase, we can expect to pay significantly more expensive prices for a series of other products, given that supplies have been steadily shrinking. At this point, the ongoing drought is not only affecting food supply chains, but many other sectors of the economy. On Tuesday,
You said that, let's go back real quick.
despite the recent supply increase, we can expect to pay significantly more expensive prices for a series of other products, given that supplies have been steadily shrinking. At this point,
Supplies have been steadily shrinking, right? And it's only going to get worse. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. They're not having any choice. They have to sell off their livestock because of the drought. They don't have enough water to give the animals to drink, or to irrigate the crops that actually use to feed the animals. You see?
the ongoing drought is not only affecting food supply chains, but many other sectors of the economy. On Tuesday, the Wall Street Journal reported that the extreme weather is forcing cotton farmers to abandon millions of acres that have produced so little cotton that they're no longer worth harvesting. Farmers will harvest an estimated 7.13 million acres, abandoning approximately 5.35 million acres.
And that's going into the storehouses too, man. All right. If you don't have any cotton to make any jeans or shirts, or sent out to the textiles mills to create string or whatever is needed, guess what? That's a shortage too, man. That's part of the storehouses being suddenly found empty.
due to an ongoing drought hammering southern U.S. states, representing an estimated abandonment rate of 42.87%, according to the National Cotton Council of America, who based their analysis on the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, data. Now, this represents the smallest harvest by area since 1868, the report showed. The economic impacts of the cotton shortage are going to be felt in a variety of industries, with the ginning, warehousing, and milling industries that process cotton all being the most immediately affected. Cotton also accounts for 90% of the materials in denim goods, such as jeans, and shrinking supplies mean that U.S. consumers will be paying higher prices for clothing in 2023. Unless rain comes along, farmers will have to continue to abandon or destroy their crops in the months ahead. In California, the situation is creating a tomato shortage, with farmers abandoning fields as crops turn to dust amid a water crisis. The news came as Idaho farmers revealed that the next food insecurity problem that may impact Americans' eating habits could be an emerging potato shortage. According to Zero.
From cattle to cotton to tomatoes to potatoes. You see that? Ezekiel chapter 5 verse 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, it is going to catch them suddenly, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. And I will increase the famine upon you, and I will break your staff of bread. Yeah, you trust in Esau. Lord gonna break your staff, your whole stay of water. Is that I believe Isaiah 3, Ezekiel 5 and 17. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee. Yeah, bereave going and losing your children. All right? You don't have people out here on the run looking for food, and the wild beast gonna take their kid. They can't keep up, right? And pestilence, and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, Yahawashi, shall have spoken it. See?
Edge analysts, now there appears to be another issue. Tomato supplies are getting squeezed as the state's water reservoirs dry up. We desperately need rain and are getting to a point where we don't have inventory left to keep fulfilling the market demand. Mike Montner, head of the California Tomato Growers Association, told Bloomberg, "It's real tough to grow a tomato crop right now."
Real quick, says in the headline, the Most High is awesome, right? This is Nahum chapter 1. We'll start at verse 2. Power is jealous, and the Lord Yahweh shall revenge of. That's what we're seeing. The Lord is revenging us of our enemies, man. The Lord revenge of and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. See? The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord have his way in the whirlwind and in the storms. It is the Lord that controls that. And the clouds are the dust of his feet. Now, I seen an article, all right, the other day about China doing cloud seeding. All right, and you don't think America been trying to do cloud seeding? Well, through the Spirit, I believe what's been happening is they've been doing cloud seeding, but the Lord causing the wind to push these certain clouds to an area that don't need that rain. And because the ground in that area, as in every area around here, all right, it's been stricken with drought. So the ground is not readily available, soaking up the water, and it's causing massive flash floods, man. Okay? That's why you seen that flash flood in Vegas, all right, in Missouri, okay, in Kentucky, okay? They trying to fill up those lakes and reservoirs. But through the Spirit, that's what I believe. The Lord is just causing the wind and to push those clouds that they seeded to bring forth all that delusion rain, right? And he's causing it to rain in places where they don't need it to rain. All right, I'm just speaking as a man. Again, let's read it again. Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. See, this is to punish the wicked, man. All right, because the Lord said, my servant shall eat, my servant shall drink, right? The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. See?
The continued, adding, on one side you have the drought impacting costs because you don't have enough water to grow all your acres, and then you have the farm inflation side of it, with fuel and fertilizer costs shooting up. Bloomberg noted that the value for a ton of tomatoes reached an all-time high this year of $105 due to high input prices, such as diesel and fertilizer, compounded with the drought. The expert said, you would think that it was a home run for growers, but in reality, the input costs have gone up so much that the potential profit was all gobbled up. Over the past 4 weeks, shows the price of tomato sauce jumped 17% from a year ago, while ketchup prices surged 23%. All tomato and potato-based products will experience sharp price increases as the crisis accelerates. Of course, the issues we've touched on in this video are just the tip of the iceberg. All around the planet, agricultural production is going to be way down this year, and we will be facing the repercussions of that decline in 2023. It goes without saying that we won't find a way to muddle through a global food crisis. If you have been a skeptic of reports of food shortages and famine, take a second look and reassess the problem once again, because the latest developments make it clear that things are getting out of control right now. We really are in the cusp of a devastating global crisis. The coming months are going to be filled with despair. Thank you for watching. Really are in the
The coming months are going to be filled with despair, right? This is Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 27. Son of man, behold, the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And he prophesieth of the times that are afar off. Therefore, thus saying to them, take a second look. Thus saith the Lord power, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord power. And it is being done, right? This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. What vision? This vision of famine, this great despair, this anguish, right? It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, and it's not tarry. All right, it's right there at the doors. I pray this has been edifying. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Lord willing, coming next you with another lesson. Till the next time, I say Shalom, DTA, and a Bible soon.